From Las Vegas, Sandy Kastel and friends.
Forever. Now, let's bring on the host. Here is Sandy Kastel.
Hi, and welcome to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. I feel like I'm talking into a bucket or something here. This is really strange, on these headphones. Oh, there I am. It was like this bucket far, far, far away. Good morning, Chef Michael. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Sandra. How are you?
Good morning, good morning, good morning to you.
Your mother.
And we have with us today, we've got Mark Thompson.
Hi,
Mark.
Sandy. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing just great. Thank you very much.
Good. We were just singing along with the Barbershop Quartet.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
That was the Sunshine Boys, you know?
The Sunshine Boys
Yeah.
bring a little ray of sunshine on us all.
There you go. And we've also got Spencer Baker in the house. Hi, Spencer.
Hi, good to see you again, Sandy.
Good, how are you? And you've got another event coming up, too, that we sent out. It's like a dueling pianos or something.
Yeah, dueling pianos with Jersey Boys associate conductor
Holy
Fortenberry.
Cannoli.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Cannoli. He's up on the racist jokes.
And then, of course, we've got the Vegas Unwrapped team here with us.
Yeah,
Ricky Cash
baby,
and
that's
Aaron
my
Davis.
Unwrapped.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Unwrapped.
Good to see you both. Yeah, I know. You
I
are going
love
to be
them
coming
guys.
up soon
I
and
love
giving
them
us
guys,
some
yeah.
secret, hidden, unwrapped treasures.
Yeah.
But to me, they're secret and hidden.
Right.
Unwrapped treasures about what's going on in Las Vegas. And of course, Chef Michael's going to start us off with a fabulous new recipe that is going to go into the new cookbook. You know, his old cookbook is called Don't Dirty the Stove, and the new cookbook is going to be called Don't Dirty the Kitchen. And you know why?
Why?
Because
we like
dirty
you.
the kitchen.
Because we like you. And now it's time to say goodbye for all M-I-C-K-U-I.
Why? Because we love
like
you.
USC.
Oh my gosh. And of course, today is my golf day with the ladies at Canyon Gate Country Club. I'm so excited. What?
Yeah, and I got to go bust my hump at Sienna's, hooking everything up with the drums
and you know
and the
what?
speakers.
We have also, I know tonight is the night.
Tonight, ladies
the
and
big
gentlemen,
night of the week for
is
us.
the night, because guess what? Tonight we got my buddy, the greatest, Jimmy Melodor, the hottest saxophone player. Jimmy's the best. We got Chad Michaels on piano.
Chad.
I love
Michaels.
Chad.
Yes.
I love Chad. The Spider-Man on bass.
Spider-Man.
My paisana Goomba brother, Mr. Joey Vespi on drums. That's been with Louis Prima for 15 years. Now he's with me.
I know.
And naturally me on the drums. But we got a star-studded cast of people tonight.
I know.
We got the fabulous Marco Varello coming down to sing.
Yes.
We got our
Marco.
great. Well, I love this guy. This guy's the best. And I think we're gonna have to get him in, because when we do the show at Sienna's, I want him in the show in 3
we'd love
weeks
to.
with the big band. And it's going to be opera night. It's going to be
lots
a
of fun.
big show with Dick Kastel. That's my future
And the
father-in-law.
big band. Remember like we did
And
at
the big
Christmas
band like we did
time,
Christmas.
Yeah.
And we got Spencer Baker here. This is the son of Fabio.
Right?
He's here. I wish I had his hair, this kid. Look how handsome this kid is. And,
He's much cuter.
Yes,
Much
he's a
cuter.
good-looking boy.
Yes.
And we're going to have a great time, and it's going to be phenomenal. And again, ladies and gentlemen, we are so, thank God in heaven, we're sold out again.
I know.
Wow.
You
To
know,
be had.
Really, we've got to have everybody call in and make reservations.
Yes.
You know, because it's what we call this is jazz and cocktails.
Yeah, jazz and
You know,
cocktails.
but even though we have a
yeah,
spicy,
yeah.
you know, we spice it up with a little opera. We spice it up.
Yeah.
We actually have a ventriloquist coming tonight that was on the show yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah,
An
James.
opera ventriloquist?
Yeah, you know, he's not an opera, but he does sing.
That would
His
be nice.
partner is Mr. Ricky, and yes, Mr. Ricky, and
I
he
look forward to
sings
seeing
some
Mr.
songs
Ricky.
He
together.
was flirting
yes.
with Sandy yesterday, the puppet.
Yes, he was. He was fluttering
And I
his
says, you know, I
eyelashes
happen
at
to
me.
have a saw in my pocket, so
Whoa!
or a belt
It
sander.
says, be careful.
Belt sander.
But anyway, tonight we were going to be at the Sienna Italian Authentic Trattoria.
But you know what's
bravo.
sad?
Yes,
You know
yes.
what's sad, Sandy?
What?
That Aaron Phillips and
What?
Ricky Cash, my two
Oh, I
very
know.
special, good buddies.
I know they can't be here
My
tonight, but you know
pals.
what? But you know what's exciting? exciting
won't be able to be
for
there.
them
Yeah.
is they are up for being the MCs of a well-known pageant. They won't tell us, it's a secret. But anyway,
The
maybe
Transvestites
they will
Association.
no, but they are going to
phone is
go,
ringing. The
and they
phone is
have to
ringing.
audition tonight. Who knows what they have to do? But anyway, if you want to come to our show tonight, what did I say? Something funny?
No, it was good. It was good.
Anyway, you've got to call 702-360-3358. That's 702-360-3358. And the reason
What?
we suggest that is because we only have a limited amount of seating there. You know, I mean, the restaurant is fabulous, and
I'll
But
stand.
they don't want to
you've
sit
been
in
there
front of the
before,
band,
haven't
and we
you,
don't
Sienna?
have. We only got 30 seats for the front of the
yeah,
band.
yeah.
I mean, this is what we
But-
have,
but
and it's sold
this-
out.
Well, if my son and I come to eat dinner, we'll have a chair.
No,
right?
yeah. We're going to make the reservations. But
Okay,
let me
good.
tell you what
Yeah,
happened
we're
right
gonna
now.
sit you at a
Okay,
we're
sorry.
gonna sit you at a tabletop. What is that called? The high tops?
High tops,
High
yeah.
tops.
We'll
Yeah,
get
they've
it.
got all these high tops along there.
Yeah.
And it's what it is it's on the bar side. So anyway, we just need you to make reservations. So call 702-360-3358. I know our friends have been telling us, give me a table for 10, give me a table for 6, give me a table for 8. But you know it adds up really quickly.
it does.
And I know we've got Nan and Brad are coming.
Yeah, we got a big gang
and we've
tonight,
got
big gang.
we've
But
got
I'm aggravated.
Grossos.
The Grossos, the billionaires.
And we've got the Pascals, and we've got Robert and Robert and Carolyn are going to be coming.
Right, I
and
love that
Eloise
people.
is coming.
Eloise
She's
is
bringing her
coming.
family.
Oh,
Yes, I know,
Eloise,
so
my
fun.
darling. Eloise, my sweet, since one night when the stars danced above.
Hey.
Oh,
Anyway,
whoa.
I just got to
love
let
that
everybody
song.
know where we're located in case they haven't been there before.
Yeah.
It's 9500 West Sahara. That's 9500 West Sahara, just west of Fort Apache. And the number you can call is 702-360-3358 to make
Oh, yeah.
reservations for tonight's show. We begin the show at 8 p.m.
Yes.
And we go all the way till 11:30.
Right.
So we have about
Wow.
three sets that we do.
Yeah.
And I think, we invite some people to come in and sit in with us, some very special people.
No soup cans.
And, and so we're really looking forward to it. So,
But here's the thing, Sandy.
What?
I'm in a bad mood right now.
uh-oh, you're in a bad mood. We're
I
in
just
trouble
spent
now.
$41,000 and I bought a beautiful van.
Chrysler.
And I came out and what do you think I see on the side of my door?
What is that?
A dink.
Oh, a dink, a dink, a dink, a dink, a dink.
whoa,
Well, you know what? You only
I
park out
could
in the middle of
not
the
believe it.
parking lot, at Smith's, and or wherever you park. You're always parking like a mile away, so you can get your exercise in to stay
Now that's
fit
a
and
C
fabulous
note to
forever.
get fixed. But it's not the 100.
Well, maybe they can just pop it out.
Well, they will. They'll fix it. But again,
But they'll charge you.
That's what I mean. And
That's right.
people, and again, I just talked about this last week.
Well, yeah,
That people
well,
have no respect for cars.
I missed that one.
Unbelievable. And people spend money for cars, and I was driving down today, and I got Turbo Herps. I love Turbo Herps. It costs me $43
There's lotion
a
for
month. Turbo Herps?
Yeah, there's sorry.
See, I'm not
I'm
thin-skinned.
sorry.
I'm not thin-skinned. You can joke with me. Okay,
Okay.
Here's the thing. I went to Turbo Hertz, $43.
Right.
We got the three. We got 5 cars, but the 3 cars that I wash is the C300, my car, and Sandy's Lexus. All right, we can go every day, 100 times a day. We can go through. It's the greatest deal you have ever had in your life, and it's on Sahara and Buffalo Turbo Hertz, and you can use it anywhere to get your car
And it's
cleaned.
really nice. It's only $20 a month for one car.
No,
And
it's
for one-
43 for 3 of them.
It's 43. Well, such a deal. But
yeah.
if you only have one car,
It's
I
about
think
it's about $18 for the month.
$18 for the month, and you can take it in as many times as you want. And you would think that they were paying us to tell you all this,
Yeah,
but they're
that's what I
not.
was thinking.
But the idea is so great because here in Las Vegas, do you notice every once in a while we get these little rainstorms and they last for about 2 seconds? And what does it do, especially on a black car? It makes it all spotted. Now
Yep.
on a white car you don't see it as much, but my black Lexus, it definitely does show up the spots.
Unbelievable.
So you can run it through the car wash
need
and,
it.
and it'll be nice and clean.
It's incredible. But anyway, like I
Yeah.
said, stuff happens. And, and again, I
That's
say
right.
with all respect, ladies and gentlemen, when you're in a store, do yourself a favor. It could be a used car to you, but to that person that's got that car, it's new. Be a little more
That's
courteous
right, that's
when you
right.
open up the door. And some people, they don't give a rat's ass. They just bang the door. They don't care. I'm just waiting to catch somebody doing it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Then what?
Then what?
I'll get their license plate and say, you have a choice. You can fix this. So I just turn to the insurance company.
Michael, you got to get this thing. I remember when I was in L.A., and if you got even near a car, they have this thing that it starts, like it'll talk to you really loud and go, get away from the car. Get away from the car. Or there'll be a
that's
siren
good.
that'll go on,
What was that sound again? What was that sound, Sandy?
I don't know if that sounds like a siren, but anyway, the siren goes off, and then this
Sounds
voice
like one
comes
to
out,
me.
this booming voice, like "Get away from the car." You know, you should get one of those things because that way, if anybody gets near your car,
No,
then it'll
it
make a
ain't a
noise.
question in that. The question, Sandy, is that people. This is Las Vegas. People work hard for the money.
Well,
I don't
yeah,
care if you're a
any city.
millionaire or
That's
you're
right.
struggling to make your car payment. Be more courteous to people in the driveways when
That's
you
right.
open up your door. It ain't too much
Well,
to ask.
sometimes it's an accident, though. Really,
True,
really,
I agree with
know,
you. Just
yeah.
like the carts, the people they get
That's
their
right.
carts,
And
they
they leave
unload
it
it, and
there.
they leave
Right.
the cart there. Even though those carts are plastic, when it rolls, I will guarantee you,
It's
if
got-
it hits a door, it's going to dent it.
Well, let me
It's
ask.
got motion.
Well, let me
Yeah.
ask you something, Chef
Yeah.
Michael. Have you thought of what recipe you're going to share with us?
Yes, I got to say this because I say this all the time, and I don't know because Aaron Davis. I always go to Smith's and I bring the bagels in and I bring the lox in.
I know. I
bring
gotta go
stuff
have
in,
some
the
after
ham,
the show.
and I love these two guys.
Before I go to
And
play golf.
everybody knows that me out there that I'm wild and crazy, and because I
You
love
are a
them.
wild and
I'm
crazy
wild
guy.
and crazy, and I
Yes.
always tease the Italians, the Jews, and everybody else. But I'm going to tell you something. I was blessed in my neighborhood to live in an Italian neighborhood. I lived in Philadelphia, in South Philadelphia, in a 9-block area. You have more celebrities that came out of South Philadelphia. Bobby Rydell.
Oh, that's right.
Bobby Rydell,
Yep.
Fabian, Frankie Avalon, Mario Lanza, Jack Klubman. The list is endless. Well, from 12th Street to Passyunk Avenue, it was the Italians, and then you had Morris Street, and then you had 6th Street. I'm sorry, I apologize. You went up to 9th Street.
Uh-huh.
Anything past 9th Street.
Right.
All right, anything past 9th Street. From 7th Street, that's where all the Jewish clientele, that's where the bagels were at. That was, and when we went to school, now I went to elementary school, it was an Italian school.
Yeah.
Everybody, the nuns were Italian, the whole world was Italian.
Oh.
We went into junior high school, that's when they mixed the races that were
Oh.
there. Okay, so what happened was I
Now,
had
this
a
was
friend.
back in what, the 60s or something?
1961, 62,
yeah.
64.
Yeah.
And that was a great era those days. Well, I went on 5th Street. That's where all the Jewish people lived.
Right.
From 5th, 6th, 6th, and 7th Street, that was that neighborhood.
And that's where you learned
With
about the matzo ball soup and
Exactly.
all the,
and you used to go to these
cultural
little stores.
dishes that they had.
Right, you got these little stores, Sam, and they had baskets of bagels. Now, let me
Bagels.
see these bagels, the size they got at Smith's.
Lox
That's
and
a
cream
joke.
cheese.
They gave you a bagel, I swear to God, it looked as big as a pizza, and they were
pizza pie.
delicious.
Wow.
And then when you bought the butter, like the Jewish butter, they
Yeah.
didn't have it in pounds. They used to have it in a big pan, and you say, give me 1.5 pounds, and they would actually cut a piece out, wrap it in place. I mean, the food was so good. They used to have a big barrel of the Jewish pickles. It was so ethnic. So I had a friend of mine that I went to school with, and his mother, I used to go to his house, for lunch from school. He said, Mike, come to my house. Now, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. In my neighborhood, if you were Italian and anybody that was not in your race that walked in your neighborhood, you got your ass kicked. And it's the same thing that happened if you went into any other section. Now, when I would walk into the Jewish section, those kids them days were tough kids.
Tough.
As long as I was with him, you know what I'm trying to say? There was no problem because I walked into his house. So I walked in this guy's house, and I'll never forget him. Never forget this guy. I love him. He passed away at cancer. His name is Maury Siegelman. That was his name. I'll never forget it. Big Jewish kid, nicest kid. And his mother went in, and there was a certain smell when you went in that house. And and being a cook, being a chef, I watched the mother make chicken soup. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you my rendition of the real chicken soup from the Jewish culture. You get a chicken. Go ahead.
Okay, but now, can you hold that thought?
I
Can
gotta
you
take
tell
a
us
break?
right? I'm sorry. The big lead up and
Why?
everything.
When I'm playing at the
Sometimes it
tavern.
takes
Yeah, I'm ready to hear.
But if you're just tuning in now, you got to stay tuned because Chef Michael's going to give us this special recipe for the chicken soup. But you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael, and we've got a few sponsors for you, so we'll be right back after a message.
Yeah, hurry up back and call me. I love everybody out there.
Chicken soup.
All my Italian friends.
Recipes, more fun. This is Sandy Kastel and Friends. Here again, your host, Sandy Kastel.
Hi, and welcome back to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. Well, while we were on break, Annabella Coro Gregerson joined us. I know I have to always look and check to make sure I say that correctly. How are you today, Anna?
I am very
Annabella?
well, and I love the fact that I always see you on a new moon. So
Yes,
that's
I know.
wonderful.
Isn't that
means
amazing?
everything's going to grow with us.
I
That's
know,
wonderful.
I know.
Yes.
And we've got some good things growing and that we're going to talk about a little bit later with Deborah Pittman and you and I, and we're doing this project, and it's an art project, and it's so exciting because we get to, we'll talk about it later, but
Yeah.
I'm
Wonderful.
looking forward to that. But
Yes.
right now, everybody's waiting to hear about the special chicken soup that Chef
Chicken
Michael.
soup. Well, if I'm not mistaken,
So
I
tell us
think
about
what was the comedian, Aaron, that got in trouble? That they kicked him off the air with Ed Sullivan. What was his name? Funny guy.
That was a long time ago.
You know what I'm
That was
talking
a
about.
long time ago. If it
Remember, he
was
went
Ed
like this to Ed Sullivan. Great
he made-
comedian.
he made
Jackie
the-
Mason.
Sullivan.
Jackie Mason wrote
He
a
got
book.
kicked off of the Ed Sullivan show.
Ed Sullivan.
What did he
Ed
do?
Sullivan destroyed his career. Well,
Don't
I
do
don't wanna
it
get
because
into
we
it.
don't want to kick you off the show.
No one's
you know?
going to. I'll buy this place and turn it into a pizzeria.
Whoa.
Whatever it was.
No, what I'm going to
Did
do.
you get rid of that phone? I mean,
Well,
come on,
that's the
throw
phone
it down
that-
into the
that's my
hallway.
company phone. What do
this
you
is
want
like
from me?
part of the routine of the show now,
Wow.
you know, because every
They want
single
the
time
chicken
we're on.
recipe.
All right, here's a
Chicken
chicken.
soup recipe.
Here's a chicken
chicken
recipe,
soup.
and then if I got time, I'll tell you what happened
Okay.
with Jackie Mason. So I'm going to my friend's house, and we go in, and his mother, and you know, I don't know if you people know what a menorah is. A menorah is the same thing like the holy water. In my house, my grandmother used to have like a crucifix, and it looked like a little bowl. And my grandfather, we always used to bless ourselves when we went in.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And when you do have the menorah, and I have Ricky Cash here.
Is that what's on the
Jewish
door?
Faith. Yeah, they touch.
It's on the
That's
door.
yeah, it's
right in the attention when you come in.
Mezuzah.
It's a mezuzah.
mezuzah, I'm
I
sorry.
said it wrong.
Menorah is the,
Oh, I'm sorry.
the
The mez-
Hanukkah lighting.
I apologize.
yes,
I
yes.
apologize.
No problem.
Well, I'm Italian. What the hell you want
Come
from me?
on, you better get politically correct here.
Yeah, you're right, because we get more phone calls. So anyway, what happened is that we go in there, and I watch her make the chicken soup. And she gets a chicken, honestly and truthfully.
A real chicken?
A real chicken.
Bah,
All right?
bah.
And them days, I'm going to tell you, them days, it was a chicken.
Did she have to pluck it?
She was plucking the chicken.
Okay.
You know, today,
This is
people...
before you just went into the grocery
Them,
store and
no,
got
forget
it
about it. No,
pre-plucked
the
and
AMP was not
wrapped
back in
and
1958,
dyed
59.
and, you know,
So
full
anyway, you
of all
get the chicken, and
hormones
she,
and
with the
stuff.
feet and the whole thing, and she, you know, the head, she takes the head off, and she guts it, and she boils the chicken. I'm watching her, and then she adds an onion, okay, and then before she gets done, I said, "How long does that take to make?" And she says to me, "Mike," she says, "you're looking at about an hour and a half to 2 hours." The last hour, and I stayed the whole time with her, she added her carrots, and she added her celery, and salt and pepper, and then she took the soup off the pot. She took it off the burner, and then she waited to cool down, and then she took the chicken out. She shredded the chicken. She put it in a separate plate, and then she got the juice, and she put it in the refrigerator. And she says, now, about an hour and a half from now, you come back, and then the fat that's on the top, you... my friend, he's shaking his head because he knows
He knows.
'cause you know you scoop that right off. You take
Okay.
it right off, because what happens is that the fat, once it coagulates in the refrigerator, it separates from the water.
That's right. It gets
And
hard
it
up on
gets
the
hard,
top, right.
and it takes that all off.
Right.
Now we're going to get to the matzo ball. She made the best matzo balls I've ever tasted. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what her secret was?
What?
You get the matzo ball, you know, you get the package, but many people use water. Some people use the egg. Do you know what this old woman used?
What? He knows.
Go ahead.
Seltzer.
Seltzer. Not club
Seltzer.
soda, ladies and gentlemen. Seltzer. She added seltzer to that. Those matzo balls were so delicious. They actually floated. Sand, with no exaggeration. See how big this microphone is?
I see.
What this is?
I see.
That's how big the matzo ball is. And if you got a fork,
So the seltzer puts like
the
air
seltzer
into it
does
or
a,
something?
there's a certain magic
Yeah.
to that that's incredible.
Wow.
And that is the real penicillin. When you're sick,
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you
Right on.
something.
The best thing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Because, you know, my neighbor, my grandpa, when I was sick, do you have a thermometer? My grandfather used to use a pepperoni. It was a turkey.
To stick it in your ear.
Yeah, yeah.
Ear.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That's
what I
what
thought.
you
Was that funny?
Yeah.
How am I funny? I'm a clown. Do I like making you laugh? What am I-
Well, you know what?
That's my
a great recipe. I
It
love
is.
that. And when are you going to fix this for us?
I fix that for you all. I fix that for you all the time.
You
And
have to
I
get
gotta-
sick.
and I-
You have to get sick.
And I got to tell you
no, I don't wanna
something. And
get
by
sick.
and we had a gentleman here a month ago, the singing cantor.
Yes.
And we got his cookbook.
That's
and I'm
right.
telling you, because I hope I used to have a friend who passed away. I never missed a Passover. For 15 years, when it was Passover, me and my ex-wife, we always went to his house for dinner. And maybe I might be invited someday to one of our other kosher friends. And we had the yarmulke. We read
last week. Remember, we went over to Nan and Brad's, and
they made me,
and Brad's dad was there, and of course his mom was not feeling well. Somebody should have been making her the matzo ball soup.
They had the they had the lox and bagels.
Oh,
they
my
had
gosh.
everything. Because and I said this before. As a kid, I worked the Borscht Belt. In the Catskills.
Yeah.
And the greatest entertainers was Sophie Tucker, Bella Barth.
Yeah.
I mean, these are names, ladies and gentlemen. You don't even know who I'm talking about. But if they're on the internet, go pull them up. The greatest Jewish comedians you ever heard. Because remember, the Jews were the comics, and the Italians were the singers. That's the way it was them days. Am I right? I want to see somebody say no. Because there's only 3 great Jewish singers. There was a lot of great ones. And it was Mel Torme, Steve Lawrence.
Right. Yeah.
And who's the other one? Come on. Steve Lawrence, Mel Torme.
And
Eddie Fisher.
Eddie Fisher.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Eddie Fisher was from South Philadelphia. He lived 2 blocks away from me.
Well, there's a lot of singers that came out of South Philadelphia.
You better believe it, pal.
Well, I want to thank you for that recipe because I'm really, really hungry now.
Yeah.
I'm really looking for it. But I know you've got bagels.
I got it for Evan Davis. I don't want him to come in and say, Mike.
Evan Davis, you mean Aaron and Ricky Cash?
Evan Davis, too, because he's another very special Jewish friend of mine.
And the thing of it is, Michael, we had a call yesterday after the show.
Did we?
And something was misinterpreted that you had said.
What did I say?
And the thing of it is I just want to say, a lot of times, you can say things in private. You say them in your family with your families when you're with friends and stuff. And you say jokes, and you're a big joke teller. You share a lot of jokes that you've heard. And you grew up on the East Coast, and I grew up on the West Coast. And sometimes the humor's a little different. But everything you've said, is with love and kindness and care, because we've got such an extended family of friends,
Right.
But something was taken the wrong way, and we just want to say that sometimes when something comes across and it's taken out of context, sometimes it gets misinterpreted. And if anybody ever gets offended by anything that either of us say or anybody says here on the show, we want to just say there's no harm meant by it, and we just want to say sorry, because there's no harm in it, and we've really got a lot of friends that are out there that support Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show, that support Chef Michael, and also that support WEMA, Women in Men in Music and Arts. And as a matter of fact, WEMA supports the arts in our community. We've got women and men that help us support the arts, just like the IOPE, which is the International Opera Performing Experience.
That was great.
That Mark Thompson, took 14 students over there, right to Italy.
That's exactly
and
right.
They got to immerse themselves into the culture and learn really about the culture. So we are a group of dynamic people from a lot of cultures around the world. And sometimes there's a lot of stuff and a lot of unrest going on around the world that sensitizes us all to things that are said. And so again, we're aware of that, and we make a conscious effort to make sure that nothing is said offensive if we can help it. But if we happen to say something that's taken the wrong way, we do apologize. Okay? So
well, then you said it all. Now you should be picking up where you left off.
You don't have to pick up.
All right, then I gotta go.
Right here. Come here, you guy.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
Anyway, so Mark Thompson, you brought a wonderful group of people over to Italy, and I'd like to hear a little bit about, and so would our listeners, and our WEMA supporters. We want to hear how that turned out, and I know you handed me these things, and I can't read a thing, because it's all in Italian.
It's all in Italian.
It's Italian.
Yeah. Basically, this group of people that came in, the regimen was 3 hours of Italian class in the morning, 9:30 to 12:30. You have a 2-hour break for lunch. Then you pick up again around 2 o'clock-ish. And then there are voice lessons, stagings, vocal coachings, all of this leading to 2 separate performances, one of songs and arias that was done in a church in Lamali, basically in the Marche region. And then nearby in Mercatello sul Metaro, we did a scenes program. And I brought a couple of clips from that scenes program.
Oh, okay.
But let me just say that the attendance to both these programs, the first one, the aria concert, we were maybe 3/4 full, and then for the last one, we were packed with standing room only for the scenes program. I heard a chime.
I know. That's because you were packed to standing room only.
There you go. So it was a wonderful time. It was a wonderful experience. The town wants us back.
Oh, good.
The group got along very well with everybody in the community, it seems.
Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they want us back, and we're planning on going back next summer.
Good.
That's the
Now,
plan.
so you had 14 students that went over there.
Yes.
Now, and what did they think about this experience? I mean, what do you think the number one thing is that they took away from this?
Wow. Well, it was
If
intense.
you can speak for all of them.
Yeah, it was intense. I think they got a real Italian experience. It was during one of their festival times there in the town. So there was something every weekend, that the townspeople were involved with, and then some of our participants were involved with, including the parade for the Palio. They witnessed the parade of the Saint Veronica, which is the saint there of the town, and that was quite an experience for all of them.
Yeah.
So there was, and they also experienced the cooking. And let me just say,
the cooking.
in this particular area, truffles are big.
Oh, so they
Okay.
add truffles.
Truffles are huge.
Yeah.
And so one of my favorite meals was the tagliatelle with truffles. Tartuffe.
What is tagliatelle?
It's a kind of pasta. It's like a flat pasta, kind of longish. Although, your favorite pasta was what? Spencer?
Spracciapreti. Spracciapreti, yes.
Stracciapreti. What is that?
It's a pasta that's round, and it's just with this incredible cheese and spinach.
That's what the straccia. Isn't that mean?
It means strangled.
Stracci.
Stracci.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much for sharing that. And then you brought a clip, I guess. Is this
I've got a couple of different scenes in here.
In this one.
Okay, and this is
You're just
from.
gonna play a little bit of
just
the-
a little,
the
just a little.
music for us?
This is one of our the Chinese soprano Nan Kai,
Okay.
who was there with us, and Jeff Matsey, who was our stage director, also a wonderful baritone at the Metropolitan Opera.
Okay, let's hear
They're doing
this.
a scene from Madame Butterfly.
If you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. And Mark, what was that called again? That was something from Madame Butterfly.
Yeah, that was the letter scene, Madame Butterfly. That's Sharpless and Madame Butterfly talking about the return of Pinkerton.
And Spencer Baker was playing piano.
Spencer Baker was our orchestra.
That was beautiful.
For that concert.
Thank
Yes.
you. Well, if you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. And our guests today are Annabella Coro Gregerson, Deborah Pittman, Mike Collin, Mark Thompson, Spencer Baker, and the Vegas Unwrapped team of Ricky Cash and Aaron Phillips with their unwrapped treasures that they're going to be revealing to us
How to make
just
all of it.
right after this break. So we'll be right back after a message from our sponsors.
24 hours in a day. 'Cause even if there were
This is Sandy Kastel and Friends. Here again, your host, Sandy Kastel.
Hi, and welcome to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. We have with us the Vegas Unwrapped team, and they are going to share with us some unwrapped treasures.
Good morning. How are you, Sandy?
Good morning.
You know, it's always great to be here on Wednesday morning because I at least fall out of that chair once or twice, and today was no exception. Hey, I've got a great one to start out with.
Go for it.
And
get it right this time.
And Chef Michael, you're going to love this one. We have Beers with Babe.
Wait a second. Do you have your glasses on? That's Beers with Beers.
Oh, man.
You got to be 21 and over. This is tomorrow afternoon from 5:30 to 7:30 at Embers Grill and Spirits over Boca Park at 740 South Rampart. Councilman Bob Beers invites all residents aged 21 and older to join him for a beer and a chat about what is happening in Ward 2 in the city of Las Vegas. If you want some more information, but there's no babes there, well, there might be. 702-229-2144. Mr. Cash, you better get your glasses checked.
I better. Labor Day band dance with Jerry Tiffel, and that's the Jerry Tiffy combo for adults. Thursday, August 28th, 7 to 10 p.m. at the Charleston Heights Art Center, 800 South Bush Street. Tickets $10 in advance, $15 at the door. This is a good one. You celebrate Labor Day with music that's familiar and comfortable, and fans of Frank Sinatra, Jack Jones, Steve Lawrence. Add to the original Vegas-style singer to the list of favorites.
Well, Mike Leonetti's not on that list.
I understand.
And Sandy Kastel's not on that list.
It's disturbing.
What's wrong with this?
Very disturbing.
You can't be everywhere at once.
I can't go on.
That's it. Well, if you go there, that means you have to catch Vegas Erupted on podcast because that's happening at the same time our show's on there.
Oh, there you go.
Absolutely. I'm going to skip that one because I don't want to see Mike in a kilt.
No.
The Outdoor Picture Show, Saturday, August 30th at 8 p.m. Go see Toy Story. That's down at the District at Green Valley Ranch. 2225 Village Walk Drive down in Henderson. Come to the green next to Whole Foods at the District and enjoy a free family movie. No alcohol or glass allowed, unfortunately, but bring chairs and blankets for an enjoyable evening under the stars.
They have had about 5 or 6 of these this summer, folks.
It's a great event.
It's been fabulous. Get your handkerchiefs ready, or at least your box of tissues.
Oh, come on
because
now.
there are going to be pet adoptions.
Oh, no.
Sunday, August 31st, 11 to 2 p.m. in Tivoli Village inside the
Doghouse.
Right. 302 South Rampart in Las Vegas. Extraordinary animals will be on display and available for adoptions. I can't go there with Kim.
I know, because you'll end up with 4 dogs.
And I already
Soon
have
you'll have
2.
your own pet adoption place at your own house.
Do they pay for it?
Who knows? Now, if you don't...
Is that a cash gig?
Yeah, they pay in dog biscuits.
I hear you.
Now, if you can't make it there on the 31st, you can always go to the Nevada SPCA. They are open daily from 10 to 5 Friday and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Sundays, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Thursday. And, of course, they're located down at 4800 West Dewey Drive. Nevada Society for the Protection of Cruelty to Animals, is a no-kill sanctuary with many incredible animals to adopt. Just check them out online, NevadaASPCA.org.
Do you know the 2 breeds that are abandoned the most here in town?
I don't know.
Chihuahuas and pit bulls.
Really?
Oh.
Yep, that's what I hear. And
ever since Taco Bell ended their advertising campaign, those darn Chihuahuas are out of work.
I'm telling you. By the way, for those who live here, farmers markets are in full swing year-round. All over the valley. Choose fresh, local, organic food for you and your family. Make a difference to your health, our economy, and the environment. For locations, days, and times, go to NevadaGrown.com. We have one.
Not G-R-O-A-N. G-R-O-W-N.
We have one near us, right?
Yes, we do on Rampart and Vegas. What did you say back there?
What was that? Nevada Grown?
Grown. G-R-O-W-N. If you type in Nevada G-R-O-A-N, that's a whole nother website.
That's a whole other website.
That would give you cucumbers and things that you just don't want to think about.
All right, wrap it up.
Now, before you can join Cash and I and Rich Perez Tuesday nights here on KLAV on Raw Power Sports from 6 to 8 p.m.
What a
Tuesday
plug.
In the afternoon at 1 p.m., you can go see the movie A Midsummer Night's Dream, the original 1935 classic, September 2nd at 1 p.m. down at the main theater at the library. An all-star cast of Hollywood staging of Shakespeare's timeless, man, oh man, Comedy of Mortals, Fairies, a Mismatched Romance, directed by Max Raynard. So, go check out a classic, and then you can catch up on all your sports activities that night.
Do you know that classic spurred on the expression "break a leg"? Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I didn't know
theater.
that.
Actually,
you know that because you were there on the set back in 1935, weren't you?
Well, Mickey Rooney broke a leg while skiing. dying.
That's right.
And he wanted to postpone the rest of the shooting. And Jack Warner, the famous director, said that he was so furious that he threatened to break Mickey's other leg.
Absolutely.
So when you say to somebody who's going on stage, break a leg, it comes from that situation.
I never knew that.
It's all right.
Next time I play Trivial Pursuit.
You guys are really cool at this. You know, you reveal things that from 1935.
Hey, listen,
we didn't know about.
we spare no depths at going to unwrap certain things. And of course, you can catch our show every Thursday night on Vegas All Net Radio from 7 to 9 p.m. and now on YouTube, courtesy of our new videographer, JPEG, as we affectionately call him. But I think you guys know him as John Styles.
That's
we
right.
videotape our shows
He
now.
does it with
That's right, does it with Styles. And of course, like I said, you can catch us Tuesday nights, and then usually and of course every Wednesday morning here, and then most Wednesdays tonight. Yes, and thank you for mentioning that earlier. The organization is called the Women of Achievement Pageant.
Oh, that's a great.
And they're doing their local
yes.
pageant here later next month, and we are supposedly emceeing that. But we have an opportunity to meet the national director tonight, and we're putting in a plug to try to get that one to do out in California in November.
That's wonderful, and best of luck, and break a leg.
Break a leg.
By the way, that leg story, I made it up.
Oh!
All right. No, I didn't.
It's in the script right there. I pulled it off the internet. It's got to be true.
Well, thank you so much
Our
to the
pleasure, as
Vegas
always.
Unwrapped team of Ricky Cash and Aaron Phillips for sharing all that with us. And we will miss you tonight. But, of course, we'll have John Styles there. And, John, I guess it's up to you to make sure that you capture everything we need tonight for YouTube and all of our fans. So, come on back, guys. You know, we'll bring you back up. We've got Mark Thompson here. We've got Spencer Baker. And also we've got Annabella Caro Gregerson. Now, you know, Annabella, you were on the show a few weeks ago, and we were talking about a lot of different things then. But for this particular show, we are going to talk about our little project that we came up with at the WEMA event this Saturday.
I hope it's going to be a big project.
Well, you know, I say little, but you're right. It may be a big project. But the idea is you were a Vogue model, a model.
Well, I was the first Mexican Vogue model to grace the pages of Vogue in Paris, London, Germany, and the United States.
Now, was that a big thing at that time? Well,
it was. There were no Latin American models working in Vogue. At least no Mexican models. They'd gotten. There was a couple of Brazilian models, one Venezuelan, but I was the only girl from Mexico City that actually left Hollywood to go to Paris and London and these places because they said, "Whoa, you'll work every day there. They want what you have."
Right.
In the United States, they were into the blondes, the Christy Brinkleys, and things like that.
Right.
So therefore, I had to go there, and I worked with some of the greatest designers of all time. The people who designed Princess Diana's dresses. I worked with Sandra Rhodes. I worked with Leonard of London, who created Twiggy and Verushka. So John Frieda was a personal friend and did my hair. He's a very big guy now.
Yes.
So some of the greatest designers, Yves Saint Laurent, Dior, and all these great things. So I had, I have a wonderful recount. I'm writing a book called Life After Glamour.
And that's how this all started.
Yes.
So we were talking, you and Deborah were talking, and then of course you saw my sculptures. Of course you know about my sculptures.
I love your sculptures.
At the house. And so as you and Deborah were talking, and she was talking about, I'd love to paint this. And I said, I'd love to sculpt this, because I looked at a few of the pictures, and I said, I could see this would be a great sculpture. And I'm thinking, like, not third life size, but a little bit smaller than that, because I've already started a series of some figurative pieces. Mark, if you know what a figurative piece is?
Literally, no.
No, it's a body figure. It's of the figure. So my other sculptures had mostly been the Egyptian princess, and which is just a bust, which is from the chest up. It's a head, and of a person. But when you do a figurative piece, that means you're doing the entire body.
Right, exactly.
So like David?
Yes, like David.
So
or Venus.
Right, exactly. So they are very statuesque. I don't know if I can.
They are very statuesque.
The camera can maybe.
Well, John, we're going to get John to take close-ups of those a little bit later.
So the story is, the reason I'm writing this book is because I'm now a holistic healer. I do the profiles of many celebrities.
Right.
I do like the Akashic
Michael,
record.
do not go anywhere.
I do the Akashic record. Well, we've done Michael's briefly, right? So I've done many people from Steven Seagal to Julio Iglesias to Antonio Banderas to a lot of people.
Steven Seagal.
Yes, he's
Wow.
very mystical. He's very interested in the sciences of the soul.
Yes.
And that's what it's about. You know, after there is a glamorous life, a very intense life, I used to hang out with Caroline of Monaco, all these wonderful people.
Right.
Then you finally find out what else is there, because that's a little bit too superficial for me. And I was married to Eric Burden when I was 16 years old of the Animals. And that opened up great teachers for me, like Yogi Bhajan. I used to spend time with Timothy Leary and people like this.
She's a name dropper, folks.
No, I'm not a name
No,
dropper.
but
That was my
seriously,
life.
this is your
That was
life.
my life.
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
why my life now is life after the glamour. Now I'm healing souls. Now I'm giving seminars. I'm doing, in fact, John Stiles and I are doing some wonderful videos where I'm teaching about Akashic records, the
Right.
hand psychology, and the fact that the poker playing cards are actually a solar calendar.
You know what's interesting also, Annabella? I just want to say, you know, the idea of like what you said, after glamour, life
yes.
after glamour. What happens is obviously when we're in the limelight,
Yes.
and anytime you're a performer, an artist, a model, you're somebody famous, and you get put into the limelight, your life does change because all of a sudden you have photographers after you all the time. You've got people wanting to get your autograph. You know, so your life is not your own in a lot of ways. You know, you put it out there for other people, and all of a sudden you're on stage all the time.
And
You
it
don't get
affects
any
your
privacy.
psyche.
And it does, and it's very important. That's why it's so important to have a balance.
Well, always,
in
you
your
see,
life,
there,
too.
my message with this book is that there is a life after that.
Yes.
You have to find yourself.
Well, still, when the stage lights go down, we go home,
Right.
right? And who are we
Right.
with? Our family and our close friends.
And if we don't cultivate that part, like which is the intuitive side, the
Yes.
spiritual side of life, then that's why many artists have this crash.
Feel lost,
They have
yes.
a crash of
Right.
life.
Right.
Some people take their life. Some people fall into drug addiction or alcoholism, or they lose themselves, or they end up homeless
It's
on
an
the
escape,
streets.
exactly,
Because what
right.
happens is that after you've gotten all this attention and your psyche has been so, psyched up, and then all of a sudden people are not giving you the attention, you sit there and go, where do I go with this? So this is why I'm a practicing Buddhist, I'm a yogi, I'm a naturalist, I eat, but I learned all these things in Hollywood. I really thank Hollywood that having this life of all this wonderful attention and all these brilliant people. In fact, last weekend I was just with 2 weeks ago with Herbie Hancock, Wayne Shorter, people who are totally in the spiritual world now,
Right.
because they've got the accolades, they're out there making the money, but they still want to charge their inner battery. So
Right.
my message is with that. So when you sat there and said that you love my work,
Yes.
I think it is art, and you said let's take it to another.
Well, it is art. And
Yes,
the
it is.
photographers
It
that
is.
took these photos, Mark, you'll get a chance to check these out, and Spencer and all of us here. When you look through this catalog of what she has, which is a lifetime of work,
Yes.
that you've been part of, you'll see that the photographers or artists,
Oh,
the
yeah.
way they did this, and they were on Vogue cover
Some
of
of
Vogue
the best
magazines,
photographers
yes.
in the world. In fact, one of the photographers that I hear that you love the photo stuff is today the Queen of England's photographer.
There you
He's the
go.
royal photographer. So yes, we have a great history here. I think that this could be wonderful art, that we could take it, to another level.
And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in just a few minutes. But right now, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. Our guests today are Annabella Coral-Gregerson, Deborah Pittman. Well, she's at home. She must be tuning in. Mark Thompson, Spencer Baker, and the Vegas Unwrapped team of Ricky Cash and Aaron Phillips. And of course, as always, Chef Michael, who's hiding out in the hallway. We'll be right back. Hi, and welcome back to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. Yes, do we have somebody on the phone?
Yes, we have Robert Boyd.
Robert Boyd.
Robert Gordy.
Robert
Jr.
Gordy. I was going to say, who's Robert Boyd? We don't know any Robert Boyd.
Jr. How you?
Good. How are you, Robert? It's good to hear you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. As you know, I always enjoy your show, you and Chef Michaels, and you got some great guests on there today. I love
Thank
the
you.
Vegas
Thank you.
Unwrapped guys.
And welcome back to
All
Las
good
Vegas,
things.
Robert. You've been
Thank
gone.
you so much.
You've been going through a big transition here, losing your mother, and I know you were doing a lot of traveling back and forth from L.A. to, was it Detroit? Or,
Detroit,
Yes.
L.A., Detroit, back
Yeah.
to Vegas, back to L.A., and had her final interment last Friday, so I was flying in early Friday morning and flew right back.
But it was
Friday
great. It was
night.
great to see you Thursday night at T. Fox's performance.
Thank you so much.
Oh, my gosh.
We had a blast.
Yes, it was.
Steve Fox was phenomenal.
Yes.
You know, just the most amazing performer. And Las Vegas, all your listeners, I wish everybody that tunes into the radio show could have come down last week. And Sandy and Chef Michael.
Well, this
and
goes
all
on,
their
but
friends.
Sherry Gordy puts on something every single Thursday over there at the Fiesta
Every
Casino.
Thursday.
Yes.
She tries to outdo herself. I don't know how she's going to outdo T. Fox last week.
I don't either.
We're going to try to, just keep the quality and the level of excellent entertainment every Thursday night. I
Yes.
just wanted to thank you and Chef Michael and Mr. Carl and Lisa Grosso and Dr. Terry and Diana Kastel and all your friends. I mean, you guys packed your place out, and we loved it. And I was so happy to see you and Chef Michael. I always get excited when I see you guys. Chef Michael was dressed to the nines. And,
I know.
I just love him. I feel whenever I see you and Chef Michael, I feel I'm seeing my brother and sister again every time.
Well,
you guys welcome us.
Yeah, well, we
Thank you
appreciate
so
all
much.
you do for us
Keep
and
on coming
supporting
out.
us.
I want to encourage all your listening audience to come on out Thursday night to Sherry Gordy Presents Take the Stage.
Sounds
At the
good.
Fiesta Rancho. I know I owe Chef Michael about $400 for that plug. But, and I want to get my 2 show tickets, too. I keep telling Chef, I want my 2 show tickets right now. Just call in.
Where do you want them? Where do you want them to?
What's that? Oh, I would love to see that rock vault at the Westgate.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, I would love to see the rock vault. That's a great show. But thank you so much. Come up. Please keep coming out Thursday night.
We will.
Supporting the show. And we're looking forward to come see you. I'm going to get Monique Brewster,
Yes.
who performed with T. Fox last week and blew the house over, with their performances. And like I said, T. Fox, nobody better right now. He's just going through the roof. I think he's got great things getting ready to happen for him in the future.
Yeah, that's great.
And yeah, absolutely. And so we look forward, Monique Brewster and I, we're looking forward to come out to Cafe Sienna this evening and see you,
Good.
Chef Michael.
Well, we'll see you
and,
tonight
all your
then.
listeners.
Thank
you so much. I love you both. Thank you. I was listening to you in Detroit, in L.A., and calling everybody. Turn on KLAV 1230 in Las Vegas. It's the #1 radio talk show in the country. And people are calling back talking about, whoa, what a great show. So,
well, thanks a
keep
lot,
up the
Robert,
great
for
work.
your plug
We
and
love
for
you.
sharing it with all your friends. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you tonight at Sienna's
so much.
Italian Authentic
Absolutely.
Trattoria, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. So anyway, Annabella, so we're going to do this thing with Deborah Pittman. She's going to do the painting, and I'm going to do the sculpture, and then we're going to put it out there to the world.
Exactly. I think that would be beautiful. I've had other people paint this in Mexico City, but the fact that we could do something like with your sculptures, which I really am so impressed with your work. In fact, I didn't see it at your house. I saw you at an expo, an art expo, remember, for
That's
Jolie?
right. That's right, with
That's
Jolie.
right. And I was so impressed
right.
with your work.
Thank
I felt that this was a past life connection, that you could do the Egyptians so beautifully. And so great. I imagine this work in sculpture or in bronze would be incredible, or in ceramic or whatever.
Or
we choose.
porcelain, I think.
Porcelain, yeah,
porcelain
exactly.
might be really nice for
Porcelain would
this.
be beautiful. And of course, and Deborah, which I love her work, she paints these geishas.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And it just really goes along
Big,
with
big paintings, too.
I know, and it really goes along with what the images that were portrayed of me as a model.
Why don't you share your website with everybody so they can keep up on this? Because you'll be posting, we'll be posting on the website.
Right. Well, actually, I'm going to be posting on my Facebook for
okay.
now
Okay.
because we're working on the website.
Okay.
Okay, so you can find me on Facebook on 2 different things that I have. I have Annabella Coro Gregerson, where you kind of see what I'm doing holistically.
Okay,
because
great.
really my focus has been the holistic thing.
Sure.
And then I have a fan page called The Art of Hand Psychology.
Oh, I love that.
Exactly. So what I tell the world is that all art comes from the right brain, and that the artists are the original, really portrayers of history, time, and space, because art is immortal, right? So this is art. What you do is art. Music is art. Literature is art. And that's what we must have fermented. And I love that Chef Michael always talks about the other artists, because these artists are eternal. The people from the past are eternal.
Thank you, Annabella, and I'm looking forward to doing this project with you. And also, we've got Mark Thompson and Spencer Baker. Now, Mark, how long are you going to be here in town?
Sandy, I'm here just for one more day.
Okay, you're teaching students?
I'm doing some teaching, some of my private studio people, so I'm doing that. Also, I'll be appearing tonight at the Siena Italian restaurant there on West Sahara.
What are you going to sing tonight? What are you singing tonight?
I'm thinking about doing like Nessun Dorma.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Recondita Armonia and Torna Suriento.
Oh,
yeah, how
and
about
Spencer, you're going to come out too tonight, Spencer?
Thank you.
Yes, sure.
Spencer will be there tonight as well. Hopefully.
Sounds great. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. We love you guys. And Ricky Cash and Aaron Phillips of Vegas Unwrapped. Thank you for those unwrapped treasures. And of course, Chef Michael for that wonderful matzo ball chicken soup.
Yes.
See, you wouldn't have expected that from him, right?
No.
But anyway, we will see you tonight at Siena's Italian Authentic Trattoria. Join us at 8 p.m. Make your reservation, 702-360-3358. Yes, Chef Michael?
You know who's going to be there tonight?
Who?
Giancarlo!
See you tonight.
Giancarlo, ciao.
And I'm coming to get a lesson today.